The post-World War II order, and by that I mean the patterns and practices of international relations that implement free trade and establish multilateral impediments to the use of force, which we often do refer to as the rules, were designed to keep the likelihood of great power war as low as possible. And that order, in my view, has been successful in keeping the likelihood of great power war as low as possible, and it remains irreplaceably useful to keeping the likelihood of great power war as low as possible. There is no question that the manner in which many states have behaved within and in regard to the order has been imperfect. All states, including and especially the United States, have followed rules when those rules were compatible with their interests. They've wriggled around them or outright broken them when the costs of doing so were low. And they've used the rules to impose consequences on others when it served their purposes. There's also truth to many of the criticisms levied against US stewardship or leadership of the post-war order. It has not been cheap or easy. It has benefited friends and competitors alike. It has had negative consequences for some sectors of the US economy. And administrations have regularly used the order as a pretext to try to coerce others to comply with US wishes, and sometimes to use force to impose America's will upon them when they don't. But overall, the principles and practices of the post-war order have worked to the geostrategic benefit of the United States. We get more of what we want more of the time, with less resistance and more assistance than any other state in the system. So 2 final thoughts. First, I think there are a lot of misconceptions about US defense alliances, and these misconceptions make the debate about their value to the United States far more contentious than I think it really ought to be. First, US defense alliances do not oblige the United States to go to war. Our defense treaty language is far more artful than to box presidents in that way. US defense alliances also do not exist to create trade ties, diversify supply chains, ensure the global dominance of US technologies, guarantee business for US defense companies, or align political, social, cultural, or civilizational values. Their sole purpose is to enable the United States to defend locations that are vital to the operation of the US economy and to the safety of US territory. Locations that are vital, that is, to creating the external conditions that are necessary for Americans to live in freedom from want and freedom from fear. And that is the standard against which all of our alliances should be measured. They can be reconfigured, but that has to be the baseline metric. Finally, primacy is not the only structural condition under which Americans can enjoy that freedom from want and freedom from fear. And so the United States does not need to defeat, contain, or convert China. What it needs is a foreign policy strategy for which the measure of success is what the United States does or does not achieve and not what China does or does not do. That kind of strategy will, of course, focus on generating domestic economic productivity, but it will also prioritize minimizing the likelihood of great power war.